And now for our feature presentation.
This is great because on the back it actually says this film is also known as
the I'll Watch It Later podcast.
You ever heard of that film?
And now, on with the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to I'll Watch It Later podcast, the podcast where we lie about the movies we've seen to impress our friends. As always, I'm Aaron, joined by my best friend and co-host, Jordan.
Hi, everybody.
And my other best friend and co-host.
That's why I was thinking of something.
I
was waiting for it.
I was. It was just
Yeah, there's that momentary brain pause where he was thinking of something to call me.
So early. My emotional support friend, Scott.
Oh, it's so true. Answer your phone.
When he gets all stressed out, I have to lay in his lap and he pets me.
Are you gonna?
Jordan's not commenting on my turkey.
Are you gonna say hi?
Hello.
Yeah, you're not.
He did.
You're not. You dick. Comment on my turkey.
Looks good.
Jesus Christ.
I want to find it.
Well, Kim said, no one's going to eat that. So
Kim's not invited to our personal Thanksgiving.
I'm just saying.
We got a table in here.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man.
Next snack show is going to be turkey dinner.
What it is
fixins.
I look at snacks every day, and Frank's Red Hot has an injector for turkey.
Sounds
fantastic because it's not just Frank's Red Hot. It's like all the herbs and
just butter.
Yeah,
butter
into
and
the
Frank's
turkey.
Red Hot.
And I want it so
I'll
bad.
do it with just chicken.
See,
get
we're
a
at
big
this-
chicken and just inject the chicken.
We're at this point. We're at this point in Aaron's life where he still loves spicy foods and
Can't eat them.
Can't eat them.
yeah, and he can't eat them, but he still tells everybody that he's like, "This is what I'm doing.
Oh,
I
I
am
can't
going to
wait.
inject this turkey with hot sauce."
No, it's not just hot sauce.
No,
though.
the scorpion pepper
If it was
injection.
just hot sauce, I would be like, okay, maybe no.
He's like, "I'm injecting hot sauce. I'm gonna roll it in cayenne pepper and pepper flakes."
So funny you should
Deep
say
fry it
that.
in Cajun seasoning.
Is last night I had Thai food and
Oh.
it was Thai hot, like I got it hot, and I couldn't finish it. I was
It's
just
everyone's
this is
different though. Like
miserable.
Thai hot in some places is not as hot as Thai hot in another. So it's like it's a weird gamble you have to take because it's like, is this going to be the hottest one or is
Right.
this going to be like a medium?
So we went to a show the other night. We stopped by Dave's Hot Chicken, right?
Yeah.
So Dave's has this scale,
It was so good.
and immediately, because I'm at that same point in my life where I'm just like, I'm gonna go with the mild.
Yeah, can I just get the chicken? Can you rinse it off with some water? I just need it crispy.
Just
right
run it
off.
under the sink, get it to that.
I
mild.
got medium and it was fine, but I was just saying like he's a wussy.
I just don't want to
I
deal. I
gotta-
don't want to deal with all the after
He's still
effects.
sweating from the Tapatio ice cream
So
from last
yeah.
week.
Mine is like, I'll reach out and I'll be like, hey buddy, what's up? And then it will bite me, and then I'm like, okay, I gotta pull back. But I still gotta keep trying. But let me tell you, that Thai food it's hurting today.
Well, that's great.
Shocker.
Anyways, this is our movie show,
Hi,
not our
everybody.
snack show. But we do have a snack.
I was gonna
This
say.
is crazy because what did we say? What was the first thing I fucking said last time?
I think we
On the
kind of were
snack
both
show.
on the same page where it's like,
I
hey,
s-
the second we end this show.
And sure enough, you went out and not 30 minutes later sent me a picture of you holding a 12-pack of Mountain Dew Fruit Quake soda.
I like the can on this.
I do too.
And I hate Christmas.
The can's very cool.
Why do you
I'm gonna
hate
tell you right
Christmas
now,
so much?
fruitcake sucks. Fruitcake is probably the worst.
I like
Besides moon pies, fruitcake is probably the worst fucking
God, the
snack
moon
ever.
pie Mountain Dew would just be like Aaron's
just
going to be
ruined
buried
life.
in the cans.
that would be really
Going to
exciting
find him
for me.
under like all these aluminum cans that he's been drinking.
He's like, I don't know if I can get my weenus in that hole opening.
However, I do like fruit cake a lot. So
I'm
Says who?
I'm not going to lie. I've never had
I don't think
fruitcake.
I've ever heard anybody say I like fruitcake a lot.
I love it.
I think
Kim
people
goes,
that grow up with that kind of thing. Like, as like a
It's
memory
It's the
or
worst.
something.
Kim goes out and buys that like supreme brick of
That's
fruitcake.
900 pounds.
Yeah, it's-
Please, they're all a brick.
give me a slice of that.
I've never had it.
It's good.
I've never had fruitcake. Like, I'm
disgusting.
just not.
Is good.
I've always heard horror stories, and it just doesn't look appealing.
So maybe for the next snack show, we'll drop in a fruitcake so we can
Okay.
just talk shit about how
Look,
terrible it is.
I'm down.
It'll be the fourth fruitcake at this table. So, yeah, I'm good with it. I'll try it.
Or the second, depending on which you're looking at it.
Yeah, let's try this.
Do you like Wait, I'm sorry. Have you had fruitcake?
Oh, going back to 2 minutes ago.
I'm
no,
sorry,
I've never had fruitcake.
sorry.
Like 30 seconds ago.
I'm sorry. I thought I heard that, and I was like, wait a minute. And it took a second to process. It's
Okay.
very early in the
Possibly.
morning. It's very early in the morning. I apologize. Yeah, so let's try this. Let's try this soda.
I've been
Clean-
holding on to it
I've-
for a
I've
week. I've been looking at the
cleansed-
12-pack on my table.
I wonder.
my palate with coffee.
You could easily be lying and have tried 8 of them.
No, I did not touch it.
So it tastes like, or it smells like Mountain Dew.
It
Like
doesn't even
that.
smell like Mountain Dew. It
Yeah, it
smells
does.
weird to me.
It does smell like
smells
Mountain
like-
Dew.
It smells like perfume.
It smells exactly like Mountain Dew. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Tastes like Mountain Dew.
There is no fruit cake.
There's a little
I don't know
bit.
how to put it, but
Maybe
It's almost like a Code Red. It's like a cherry, kind of cherry-ish.
No, I'm tasting almost.
I do taste Code Red, but it's like muted.
Right.
I'm
It's like a
tasting.
fruit punch, but not fruit punch.
I'm tasting plum or something.
Well, that'd be better.
I'm tasting gum acerbic.
If I didn't know that this was like some fruitcake thing and somebody gave it to me, I'd be like, "Oh, is this Code Red?"
I don't hate this.
It's
It's not terrible. It is not a representation of what a fruitcake is. I
It's
can tell you
not
that.
really a representation of anything. I
thought it was going to be
weird.
way worse.
I honestly, the holiday flavors, I liked the ginger snapped more than I like this.
What's wrong with this?
There's nothing wrong with it. I like that other flavor because it was something different. This does taste just like a Code Red or a, Mountain Dew.
Well, it's got a blast of artificial fruitcake flavor.
Isn't most of it artificial anyway? Some like jellied weird candied bread thing.
I think we're in this day and age now. It's a blast of artificial fruitcake.
That was weird.
I mean,
don't know.
I give them the props for the can. It's very festive.
They're very good with their
Christmas.
designs.
It doesn't
like
really
even
taste
with
like
the
anything, man.
even with the Flamin' Hot version, the cans are 10 out of 10.
You know what it tastes like? Sweet ass Mountain Dew.
No,
Yeah.
you should have stopped at ass.
I mean,
Tastes
it's
like
not
sweet
it's not
ass.
terrible
No.
by any means. It's not a terrible drink. It's
No,
just,
this is for children. This is like this is their soda. This is not.
I guess. Do you think kids are walking into QT like kicking the door open, being like, "Mom, fucking fruitcake Mountain Dew"?
Well, yeah, it's got a fun can. It's a different color. It's a new flavor. I'm sure in the bottles it's all red through the thing because of the way the inside looks. I
Well,
mean, trust
apparently-
me, it's for children. It's for children.
kids are kicking the fucking doors down for every Mountain Dew because they're stealing all the fucking modern warfare codes out of the fucking boxes.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Is that what's happening?
Yep.
I didn't even know that.
Some
I've
dude showed a video of him going in and all the 12 packs were like ripped open.
Oh, for the double XP, so that
Yeah.
then Aaron can get like 2 instead of 3.
Sometimes I'm
Get a
good.
3 XP.
Oh, that's funny. So what do you guys give it?
It's a 2.
I was just gonna say
I mean,
it's regular
it's still,
Mountain Dew.
it's
is
still
a,
good, but
is- yeah.
It's not terrible. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. When I heard fruitcake Mountain Dew, I was like, oh Jesus.
again with the Flamin' Hot, they gave us a base level of bad, and then like
Yeah.
I think the one that we got from the East Coast, the kiwi berry, the roar or the I don't know what that one was, but that one was like the better.
That
So
was
like
so
we have
good.
like a range. This is kind of just as a 2. Like it's
Yeah.
okay. I'd drink it again.
I'm gonna
I have fucking 9 more at home.
I don't know, because if I walked into a store, I'd probably get it based on just the stupid lights alone on it. Like,
It's the gimmick.
But
Yeah, it's Christmas.
to me,
This is cranberry Sprite.
Aaron's got a one arm full of 12 packs of fruitquake, and the other arm is full of a Christmas cake. Little
Right.
Debbie's.
oh, I love the. Those are a 5 though. I mean, you can't.
They are.
Okay, this is a 1, and I'll tell you why it's a 1. Not that it's a bad soda. It's a 1 because it doesn't taste like anything. It definitely doesn't represent fruitcake. But it's Mountain Dew, so you can drink it, which is really good. But there would be nothing to like if I walked up to a whatchamacallit, a cooler, there'd be no reason for me to pick this over regular Mountain Dew or a Code Red or a Live Wire or any of that. So that's why it's a 1, because in no world am I picking this over
No.
the other flavors.
This is a gimmick.
Yeah, there's no reason.
Well,
for
after
this
I
to
drank
exist.
the rest of the 12 pack of the ginger snap, I never once wanted it again.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's these little one-off flavors that are like, okay, we tried it, it was fun.
But sometimes you get
I'm
those,
gonna go get a Mountain Dew.
right. But sometimes you get those one-off flavors, and you're like, man, that'd be awesome right now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. If I see this sitting next to a Code Red or a Live Wire, I'm picking that. I'm not picking this.
You know what I hate that they got rid of?
What's that?
Diet Code Red. They don't have Diet Code Red, and they don't have a zero flavor
I
Code
thought
Red.
they had zero.
What? I thought they did too.
Nope. They don't have any of
Pretty
that
sure.
shit.
I thought that the zero.
If they
I
do,
like that
then
he's
find it
arguing.
for me
He's
because
like, I know.
No, I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure I thought I've seen zero.
find it for
like
me. I
recently.
will buy it because they
If
don't.
I
I've
see it,
never
I'll
seen it. I've seen
grab
the
them.
regular, and that's it. None of the special flavors really get the zero stuff.
Baja Blast does.
Baja Blast did.
And it tastes like cough medicine.
But see, none of the other Baja Blast variants, like the pineapple, none of those ever got it.
That's okay.
Well,
Those were-
I like.
Oh,
I like pineapple, so I mean that was fine. But I mean most of the other ones they don't have it. So anyway, hey,
Hey.
did you watch anything this week?
Yeah. Did you rate it?
That's 2.
Okay.
Fruitcake has like a specific kind of like spice and flavor, and this just doesn't really have that. It's more sweet, kind of like you said,
Very
fruit punch, cherry, kind of. I mean, it's not terrible. It's just
Definitely.
not. I mean, if am I going to get one? I'm just going to get a Code Red.
Yeah, it's just
Looking at
rebranded
him,
Code Red.
Because he's like, I hate fruitcake. Or I hate fruitcake. Both. He hates both things. He's like, I hate it. This is a 2. It just
two's
doesn't
not
make
bad.
any sense. I don't like fruit cake.
I gave it a lower
This is
score
not
based
terrible.
on the fact that it doesn't taste like what it represents.
Well, I mean, a 2 out of 5 is not a great score.
I mean, it's
I mean, for
It
me,
gets
it's
a 2
like, I
because
don't-
serviceable.
It gets a 2 because it's serviceable. Yeah,
It's
like,
not serviceable. You
I
would
can
never
drink this.
in no. But are you walking into fucking QT
No.
and buying this?
No.
Then why?
But the
why are you
flavor is
giving
not
it a
that
2?
bad.
You release every weekend now for the next 3 weeks. I'm bringing 3 cans that we have to drink during every
Yep.
show, just
Every-
because I
every-
need to get rid of 9 more cans.
Every time I stop at a supermarket or like a gas station or something, I'm just going to pick one up and take a
Don't
picture
Right.
and send it
Don't
to you.
reload it. I was just gonna say, there's no reason for this to
Be like, look
Keep
what I
going.
got.
Yeah, keep going with this.
Slamming the fruit quake today.
Hey, and
Need
real
my
fast
purple thunder.
before we get into
Play some
movies,
Call of Duty.
Jordan hates Christmas. Who knew? Like,
You know who knew? The listeners who listened last year when I said it
I
5,000 times
But
during
it's just
Christmas.
so weird to me because it's like,
Why?
oh, we're doing a snack show and sugar cookie, and you're like, I fucking hate sugar
I said
cookie.
last year I don't like sugar
It's
cookies.
just weird.
He's the
bro.
heat miser.
I
You
am
are.
the heat miser.
Do the thing, the Rankin Bass thing.
I made of clay.
Yeah. All
No,
right.
I've just never been a Christmas person. I don't like it's rare for me to like a Christmas movies. I don't like the holidays. I hate the people.
Do you wake up on Christmas Day and like kick your kids and stuff? You're like,
Yeah.
you like push them over?
No, see, I like the gift giving
Hey,
for the kids
get
and stuff
back
like
to bed.
that.
Yeah.
But as far as just overall Christmas, I'm not into it.
It's just a regular day.
Do you not have good Christmas experiences when you were a
No,
child?
none.
Yeah, there we go.
I-
We're on the table now.
I had terrible Christmas experiences, and I still enjoy the season.
See, I'm like, it's
What's
funny
the good about
because
the season? The state gets overrun with the fucking cotton tops that sit there and run so slow on the street. I hate the old people that
Cotton
come
tops
over here.
is slang for old people.
Yeah.
Just in case.
snowbirds.
Wow,
Okay.
snowbirds, cotton tops, whatever. The blue hairs. It's a terrible season. None of the roads work anymore because everyone's jamming up everything. The stores are crowded. The people are assholes. I just don't like any of it. I'm going
So-
to do all my shopping on Amazon, sit at home, play Call of Duty, and that's it.
It's funny you say that because you were right about the Starbucks line this morning. It was
Did I tell you?
it was insane.
Yep.
That line is
What?
is always crazy.
What did you say?
So I was like,
I didn't
after
go
I
to
sent
it.
you that text, I was like, 10 o'clock was our start time. And then I was like, and then he's going to complain that the line was really, really long.
No.
And-
do you think I sat in the line?
No.
No.
I'm just saying, every time you've gone to Starbucks, you've always complained that line is egregiously long.
It is.
And no one has ever corroborated that
He
story
was
with
heading
you.
out the door, and I'm like, "Good luck, bro." I'm like, that line was out to the fucking street, man.
I had a hack.
Yeah.
I went into Safeway.
I was going to say, I usually
See,
would. I would've gone to
I
the
do
Safeway.
that, and the last time I did that, because it's in the same parking lot,
Right.
so I go to the
All right
Safeway.
there.
The line was even longer
Are
in
you
the
serious?
Safeway when I walked
Nobody
in.
in. It was
Really?
just me. Yeah, I was
Well,
like,
there you go.
I was like, ooh. I even told the lady, I was like, dude, the line over there, and she's like, I know they haven't figured it out yet.
It moves pretty quickly,
I always
but
find it
it's
weird.
like every time I go up there, man, like the cars are just in the street, and I'm
yeah,
like, nope.
Yeah, I wasn't
Not
gonna
a
wait in that
lot.
line. That's why I was actually earlier than I thought it was going to be.
This is literally that moment in Shrek where they like leave like a Starbucks when they're getting attacked and then run across the street into the next Starbucks. Like,
Or-
it's, just- it's so stupid.
It is.
Lewis Black, where he's like, I saw the end of the world. It was in Texas. It was with a Starbucks. It was right across the street from a Starbucks.
Yeah, it's just how it is.
It was awesome. So, anyways, all right. We do a movie show, I promise.
Oh, I really like this.
Yeah.
Baby and the four people.
We also do guy talk. So, just deal with it. We saw a movie this week. We saw a bunch of movies. Well, not a bunch. I think I saw 2 movies between the time that we've done our movie show. Scott, have you watched anything in the last 2 weeks?
I did.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
So you lied?
He's
What do you
a
mean?
liar.
Oh, earlier I asked you and you said no.
I said I did.
What'd you watch?
Weird.
Well, yeah. Did we all watch that?
I watched that.
Yeah.
All
we
right.
kind of all watched it separately, but that was the one movie that I did watch
Good,
because
good, 'cause I wanna
really
talk
wanted
about
to see
it.
it.
And yeah. We all watched Weird, which is the Al Yankovic story that was done by Roku.
Produced by Funny or Die.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
so weird.
The
So
second
weird.
that came up, I'm like, oh my God, is this a skit?
Yeah. Well,
It
Should be on
was,
the
yes.
internet.
the more you watched it, the more you
Oh.
realized it was actually a skit.
This fucking movie.
And then Daniel Radcliffe's in it. Who plays Madonna?
Everybody's in it.
what's her face?
Evan Rachel Wood.
Evan Rachel Wood.
Weird Al is in it.
Fucking
Jorma from
Rainn Wilson, but I guess he changed his name.
don't let's not get
Okay.
into that part.
Did you see that he
Uh,
changed his
no.
name? Oh,
Yeah, it's
he
like
really
global
changed
warming
Yeah, he
rates,
literally changed his name.
Is he like Meta World Peace now?
It's
Kind of
pretty much.
because it's like rain, thunder, and lightning over
Jesus.
the Gulfin Plains, Wilson or something. I'm not playing. I wish I was.
I wish
joking.
he were kidding. I saw the same story. No, so he's in it as Dr. Demento. Wolfman Jack is Jack Black, which was
Black.
kind of a funny scene at the party. Guest stars galore in this movie.
Jorma and Akiva. I'm surprised I had.
I didn't see Akiva. I saw Jorma as Pee Wee Herman, which
Yeah.
made me laugh
Akiva-
way more than it should have.
Akiva was at
He's
the
like,
same.
"Ah!" I'm like, oh my God.
He was at the same party. I think he played.
Was he Alice Cooper? Because there was Alice Cooper. There
Alice
was
Cooper,
he played
Frank
Gallagher.
Zappa,
Frank
Gallagher.
Zappa.
I think he
yeah.
played Gallagher.
No, it wasn't Gallagher.
Okay, it was somebody.
I know who Gallagher was. and
There
it
was
wasn't
what
him.
was the supermodel Grace, whatever her
Grace
name
Jones.
was. Grace
That-
Jones.
That would have
I
been
mean,
hilarious. If
dude.
it was Grace
this
Jones.
the party scene alone made me laugh so much because it was like they took everybody that was who of a gimmick.
Yeah, like anyone in the like from 1982 to 1985 was at this party for Dr. Demento, and
Which
it was
was
played
a-
by everybody.
Which
and
was a regular shitty pool party, like
Yes.
one you'd have for like
Like
out of-
Anchorman.
Yeah,
it was like the pool party out of Anchorman.
and he was like, security, and like it was like, was there security at this pool party? It's so stupid.
But dude, the fucking dialogue at the pool between like all
The
of
bassist
dude,
from Queen, they're like, oh.
Oh, he's
okay.
like, I'm so and so. They're like, who? He's like, I'm the bassist from Queen.
Like,
They're
they
like,
don't
oh,
know.
Okay.
They'll know like Brian May, or they'll know whatever. And he's like, hey, we would like you to come play Farm Aid. He goes, hard pass. I'm like, you fucking idiot. This movie is Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, but actually about a person that exists,
Yes.
but in no way represents his life in any way.
which is super duper meta.
It's so
because
funny.
the movie is a parody of a guy who does parodies.
Parodies, yes.
Yeah.
And then inside the movie, there's even more parody, like with the fucking pool party.
But
I love-
it's done so well, though.
I love
It's
when
so
he's
good.
like, when you come to work at the factory, I don't even know what you make at that factory. You'll know when you come and work at it. And he still doesn't know what they do at the factory.
And then they show him in the factory. And he's
He's
still-
just pushing buttons.
he pushes a button and sets everyone on
And someone's
fire.
like, ah! I was laughing so hard at this movie.
Akiva was Alice Cooper. It was gonna
Okay,
bother
it was
me.
Alice Cooper because he was all painted up, so
Yeah.
it was hard to tell, and he wasn't wearing glasses.
just
So it
sitting
was-
there all angry.
oh, so
fucking
funny.
But I couldn't believe Sandberg wasn't in it because they're usually all
That's true.
ride or die. But
But people like all over. I mean, like Josh Groban, the singer, was the waiter at the restaurant.
Conan O'Brien.
Conan O'Brien was
Andy
Andy
Warhol.
Warhol.
Andy Warhol.
He's like,
Yeah.
give him 15 minutes. I'm like, you fucking dummy. Oh man,
I didn't know what to expect when I went into this film because
Me
I
neither.
actually thought it was going to be kind of like his life story. And
Yeah,
then,
I did too.
And then when it started going off the fucking rails,
like immediately off the rails.
Yeah, I
like,
was
here,
like,
you
I'm
man
like,
of the house. Here's an accordion.
I'm like, this is fucking brilliant, man.
Yeah.
The dad starts beating the accordion salesman. I was laughing so hard.
Just do a bloody pulp, man.
I also like that the timeline doesn't match up with anything. Like
No.
he had Amish Paradise coming out like 1985. And Coolio sitting in the audience.
I love later when he visits his parents after his like drug addiction and all this stuff, and like his mom got like super chubby and fat, and then they're like doing the dialogue is almost literally lyrics from songs in certain cases, and then they're like they're trying to like kind of get him to write the next big thing, which was fat,
Right.
and then he talks about something else, and the mom goes, really like the obvious joke is right here, like they're so fourth wall breaking in a way without actually looking right at the camera going,
Well, when he's sitting there and he's in the studio and Weird Al is like at the table and he's talking shit, and then one guy's like, "You're fucking ugly, you're this and that," and he's just kind of like, "Oh, come on, hold it, let's calm down here a little bit."
I liked when he writes "Eat It," and it's like it's an original song. No one else had.
Like Michael Jackson stole it from him.
Look, Michael Jackson is going to release "Beat It," which is exactly like your song, but the words are different. Wait, so he's parodying me? He's like, now I'm going to be forever like, associated with this Michael Jackson guy. The little kid from Jackson 5. Like, it's so fucking funny, as if he was like the best. And I can ruin everything in this movie, and it's still something you need to watch, because at some point him and Madonna are dating. They go down.
Is true.
I don't know.
I
have to look it up.
I don't even know what to think anymore after watching this movie.
I can't tell. At some point, they go down to like the drug cartels from Pablo Escobar kidnap Madonna, so he has to go down and rescue her because Pablo Escobar loves Weird Al, and all he wanted to do is play a show like with one song, and he's like, I'm not doing parodies anymore.
What's it called? Unbearable Weight.
Right. And then he kills Pablo Escobar, and then Madonna takes over his cartel, and then he leaves Madonna, and then she eventually assassinates him, and I'm just like, this is a fucked up movie. Like, none of it makes sense. It's so great. I loved so one of the kid, I think he was the bass player or the guitar player in when he was in Roommates with his friends, and it became his band, was the little kid from Gladiator.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, he had like the long blonde hair. Yeah.
That whole scene is fucking crazy.
Hilarious.
Too, where he's in a biker bar and he's playing the accordion, and then all of a sudden his buddies are just like, "Oh, we need to go out there and help him." And they just go out with the full on fucking band. And he's like, "I didn't know you guys knew how to play instruments."
We didn't feel it was relevant at the time.
To this point,
What?
Or when they were sitting in the house, and he's like, "Yeah, it's time to make lunch. All right, I'll make sandwiches. Is this your bologna? Yeah, just hand me my bologna." And then he's like, "Ma," and then he's like, "Wait, what's going on in there?" And it's like a flash of brilliance happening. They're like, "You've got to record this."
I guess there's a lot of little things like that. Like he had Captain Crunch and Raisin Bran on the sitting next to each other, which is a line from a song.
Right.
I don't want no Captain Crunch. I don't want no Raisin Bran.
Yeah, the whole movie is just nothing but references to everything he's ever done. And it's so funny because at the end they're doing these end credits and they're showing pictures of him growing up. So, you see little young Al Yankovic, and then you see his, him, his parents. And then at some point the pictures are just photoshops of the situations that he's talking about in this clearly fictional movie. And I'm just laughing even further. And then apparently, and I was told this last night, I don't know why I didn't know, Weird Al did a song for the end credits.
Yeah, you didn't hear it?
I didn't finish it. No,
he's like, this movie is technically up for Oscar contention.
Well, and the funny thing, he does it, and then it's like the credits are 9 minutes long, but he only made like 3 minutes worth of material. So then he starts like redoing things and keeps going for 9 minutes.
He just talks. It's fucking funny.
It's fucking
the song that he does at the end of the movie is so funny. He sings about his life, kind of like what happens in the movie, and then he's just like talking about like, this movie's up for Oscar contention. Wasn't this person good in the movie? Like, and so I was like, okay, that's kind of funny because I wanted to see. I thought maybe there was an after credit scene.
Yeah.
So I watched the whole thing, but
it's so funny.
It really was. And what I like is like if you look up his real life, like none of this, like he's never once touched a drug. Always been very
no, because at one point he's not even a drug addict. He's just an alcoholic. And he's drinking like a giant bottle of booze on stage.
Yeah,
and it gets in a horrific car accident.
Well, this is the ultimate blank
Motley Crue.
This is the ultimate blank check. Like
so
we're gonna hand you a blank check. you're going to create a movie about yourself. Do it any way you want.
And everybody's
But
going to
none
want
of
to be
it's
in it.
true.
None of it's true.
You're like, this is exactly how I want
This is
my
your
life.
parody autobiography.
But literally, the only thing that's true is he met Dr. Demento because
Correct.
he was sending his tapes in to him, and he would play him on like Saturday mornings and something. But like that's how he got famous, and that's it. And then his parents died.
Well,
Unfortunately,
and the crazy thing is that, like, I used to listen to Dr. Demento because it was on the radio. So
Right.
to see a lot of this stuff
get
that
it, you're old.
that I grew up in was kind of fun
A lot of
to
people are
watch.
like, Doctor Who?
he's like, yeah, Doctor Who. I don't think Scott watched that.
He did, but in the 50s.
He's like, my favorite is that first guy.
The
It's
black and white ones.
version.
when they were chiseling them on stones and stuff.
Flintstones.
What's it like to be like that, as old as you are, and seeing like?
I laugh.
The
But you're
world.
like, you're maybe like, what, a year older than me?
Yeah. If I could go
But you
back
don't
to
act
where,
like it.
I just take a dinosaur to work. I mean, that's the good old days.
No, I'm just
It's
saying.
a
Gas.
living.
Do you
Fossil fuels.
Do you remember like putting your legs to the car to start it? And,
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
you know.
But yeah,
Wilma.
I really love this movie. Like
That's good.
it's perfect for him.
Yeah.
Like this is definitely him. If they played this straight and gave me a straight a biopic of just his life, start to finish,
I don't think it would be that interesting.
It
I
would
think
have
he
not
realized
been
that
as
as
fun.
well. Like I said, the only thing interesting is his parents did die from like carbon monoxide poisoning or something like that.
wow, thanks for bringing me down.
Sorry, but like, but like he's like married, he has kids, they go to church, he like camps in his backyard.
Oh,
he,
yeah.
he causes no controversy.
No, he's like
whatsoever.
genuinely probably the nicest guy
Just
in the
boring.
history of people.
Just super
Me and
boring.
Kim took me for my birthday to see him live.
When he was in Chandler,
No. He was
Oh.
playing at the in Phoenix, like I can't remember where we went and saw Ben Shapiro. I don't remember the name of that theater.
Oh,
like
like Comerica.
Yeah, Comerica, and it was
sure it's changed now.
incredible. And I'd seen him a bunch of years ago at the fair, and I thought he was really fun.
He
so.
was just out, I think, either last year or he was supposed to be out this year. But yeah, I want to go see him.
Yeah, it was. We should do that. We should
Next time he's out, I'll definitely want to go.
So, and then I think you and I went and saw a movie, but did you watch anything else? I still haven't watched Significant Other. I know. I'm getting to it. I swear to God.
I'll let it go.
If this week, no matter what,
I watched the first episode of Blockbuster.
I'm sorry.
That show sucks.
That show is
That show is
unwatchable
boring.
trash.
It is trying to be funny, but not doing it.
Which sucks because it wastes its cast.
It's such a good cast, and it is a huge waste.
Fucking Amy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I love her.
And the
And
dude
she's not
from
good at
Fresh
it.
Off the Boat or whatever you want, Ant-Man.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, it's Jim.
Yeah.
Internet
Thank you,
joke.
internet joke. Yeah.
Yeah, no, she's great because, I liked her from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. The problem is I feel like she's playing the same character. She's like the straight-laced,
Right.
Doesn't take the jokes kind of type.
Well, I can't believe they're going down this road in 2022 with a fucking sitcom. Oh, they're both divorced. Oh, they both like each other. But they
can't
gotta
be
dance
together.
around it.
And she's, whatever.
And it's fucking Blockbuster. And then I get it because it's supposed to represent the last Blockbuster on Earth, which, fuck you, that Blockbuster in this show is nowhere near
No.
Bend, Oregon. But I don't like them doing modern day movie jokes. What they should have done.
Well, because they're doing it as if
this
this is like just now going under in like 2022.
Right.
So they're talking about all the new stuff. They're got their phones out, and I'm sitting like thinking, going, what you're doing is that you killed something, and now you're desecrating its corpse right in front of an audience because you own the rights to it.
Yeah.
Because Netflix pretty much put Blockbuster out of business with their streaming service and their disc service. And to make this show is just like the ultimate like middle finger to the entire thing. And it's like, it's kind of fucked up.
Quick sidebar. I worked for Netflix for a period of about 3 months. And let me tell you, closest thing to slave labor I have ever done in my life.
You worked at Amazon?
Oh, well, but I people seem to like Amazon. I don't know. But I'm telling you, 100% like the close you would file in at 3 a.m. into a windowless white room.
Gray jumpsuits.
Oh.
Fucking like an old machine.
You would sit at a desk, and you would get all the discs in these giant cardboard sleeves, and your job was to take the disc, inspect it, and put it back, and that was it. That was your entire job. And if you slowed down, they would come over. Hey,
Hey,
fired.
You good?
No, you're fired. And you would be gone. We were losing 3 or 4 people a day.
Damn.
And if you were really good, you got moved up to the special white room, and like you were just good. But then people would get fired from there too. I'm not kidding you when I say like Netflix is a demon hole. It is. I would not work for them ever again. I think it was incredibly weird.
Do they still do where they
Yes,
send the disc to the
they
house?
still do discs.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that ever does it, but I know it exists still.
But I doubt that place exists anymore. It was through a temp agency, and when they called me back, they were like, "Do you want to come back?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm working for Netflix." And then I found out very, very fast. Like, then if you made a mistake, they'd post it on the wall. There was a wall they would
It's
post
the wall of shame.
I'm dead serious.
It's like that when he steals something from a gas station.
And
like, do not sell to this guy.
Yeah,
He's banned.
It was fucking crazy. I just wanted to tell that story.
See, I worked at Blockbusters. So
I worked at Blockbusters too.
Fuck
and
you guys for
Hollywood
making
Video.
this show.
So, but yeah, I agree, man. They should have done it in like the '90s when all the fun stuff was coming out, and they
I think
could
it'd have been more fun if you would have placed it back then.
Yeah, or done. You could have done a Friends type of stupid like will they, won't they, and still been like, and then made references to that, and then do 10 seasons and be like, hey, did you guys hear about this Netflix thing? That's the last episode.
And it's oh god, that would be funny. Yeah,
I know, they should have
only
us write the show.
Yeah, no, I did the first. I watched the first episode. I don't have any care to continue.
I've made it through like 4 episodes.
And somebody else told me they did about 4 or 5 episodes, and it doesn't get any funnier.
No, it doesn't.
It is just boring.
I just left it on at one point, was just
let it run,
and just seeing how worse it could get, and it pretty
just
much
gets worse.
Yeah, it just gets.
Which is weird because it's one of the writers or the creators of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Like
Really?
it's one of the people that did a lot of the.
His brain must have fallen out of his fucking head, or he
No,
has the
it's a
COVID
woman.
brain. Oh, her brain must have.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Oh,
well, they're
Hot
unfunny.
take. I need to catch up on Andor. And what else did I watch?
I do need to watch. I've only watched the first 3 episodes.
Cabinet of Curiosities is really good.
Yeah, I've heard. I've heard that
and
some
that's one of those
stories are
ones.
better than the others.
Yeah, and you can skip around because they're not interconnected. So there's like little anthology things. Watch those. And then our movie that we watched.
Yes.
Well, our movie, and we watched Wakanda Forever,
Yes.
which is the runtime.
Yeah, that's what I told. That's what I told everyone yesterday when they asked me if I saw it. I said it's called Wakanda Forever because the movie's literally takes forever to get through.
Shorter than Endgame, but longer in your brain. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah. So we saw Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and I want to start by saying, well, Aaron, you're just a fat racist because. Here's the thing.
Goodbye, everybody. That's the show.
License.
I love.
Last show we're doing.
I love the first Black Panther. I think Killmonger is one of the best villains of our time. Because he's so relatable, and at the same time, like he's such a badass. And yeah, I get that he has to die, which sucks. But
Didn't have to.
yeah, I guess he didn't have to die.
Nope.
They could have just put him in jail or something.
Put him in jail, man. Jail.
So just in case anyone's like, well, you're biased. No, because I really love the first movie a lot. I thought the ending with the fucking CGI rhinos and stuff was real garbage. But other than that, like the fight scene on the train and stuff was cool. This movie, and Jordan probably has a different take than I do, I thought was the most boring, contrived pile of garbage on the planet. And because we'll never know what we could have gotten if Chadwick had stayed alive. Because all this is a 3-hour cry fest over Chadwick Boseman.
It's true.
And all I want, and don't get me wrong, Namor is cool, and it's cool how they introduce him and introducing all the Mayan stuff and making him, Mexican or Mayan. Sorry, please don't come at me.
Mesoamerican.
Yeah, Mesoamerican was the way to go.
It's perfect.
It was perfect.
Because now you don't have that connotation with Atlantis and Aquaman and fish fucking and all that shit.
Yeah.
You've completely cut off the comparisons to DC almost immediately.
Yeah.
And it's done in such an amazing way.
And they introduce it like it's its own culture. It's kind of like a Wakanda. You're just now hearing about it because these people don't want anything to do with us or
they don't want the surface world.
Yeah.
Anything to do with them.
And all of that is a 10 out of 10. But the rest of this fucking movie is the most straightforward, boring shit I have ever seen in my life. At one point, me and Jordan were doing lines
before
from
they
the
happened.
movie.
Oh, I was like, wow, you were doing lines in the movie?
Fuck, it would have
Just
woke me up.
railing coke
Would
off
have
the
woke
fucking
me up.
handles.
It was like, here, take a bump off of this. No.
No,
Probably
yeah.
would have made the experience a little
Like,
better.
literally, there's one point where they go, don't touch anything in a warehouse. And I looked at Jordan and I said, oh, I guarantee in the next 5 minutes we're going to hear, I told you not to touch anything. And sure enough.
Sure enough.
Sure
Yeah, one of the main characters touches a board with some schematics. And she goes, I said not to touch anything. And I'm like, you fucking...
I was like, who was this written for? Like, you did such a good job. And I like Ryan Coogler. Like, I think he is a good director. A good director. Creed is fucking awesome. He directed that, right?
Yes,
I
he did.
can't remember.
He did Creed and he did Black Panther.
Black Panther and Fruitvale Station, which is a really good movie. But I like
He's a
Michael.
good one.
I
He
like-
does like Michael B. Jordan, doesn't he?
I was just gonna say I like Michael B. Jordan, so I'll watch him and literally do anything. But yeah, I don't know what they were trying to do. Shuri is the most uninteresting character on the fucking planet.
So bored
and
by
this
her.
was all about her and her feelings and, oh, my brother's dead and I'm sad and blah, blah, blah. Angela Bassett kicks the door open and is like, hey, look at me, I'm fucking badass. But you don't get much of her in the film. And then don't get me started on fucking Ironheart, because I swear to God, not only was she pointless, most underdeveloped character in the fucking universe. Like,
well, here's the thing:
Go
you
ahead.
could have taken almost 45 minutes out of this movie.
Yes,
because there is a side plot involving, like, I don't know, Shield at this point. I don't know if it's Shield or not, but there was a whole little side plot that you could have taken completely out. Riri Williams, Ironheart, completely pointless. You don't need her in this movie. You could have done it any other way without her help. She puts on a suit and all of a sudden she knows battle tactics. This is a MIT student doing homework for people. Don't make me think that she's going to go into battle with all these Wakandans and fucking Mexican Americans. I don't know.
Mayans, Mesoamericans.
Yeah. You're correcting me. Fucking asshole. Namor. Okay, so this movie for me was like a 4 out of 10, whereas Namor is a 10 out of 10.
Right.
Like him as a character, as the way he did it, even like there were just a brief moment where he's doing something kind of funny that was kind of funny. Everything he did was fantastic. I would love to see a standalone movie of him or a show just of him
ass.
Just kicking ass. At one point toward the end of the movie, he's fighting the Black Panther. Guess what? It's Shuri. We all knew. Who cares? He's fighting her, and I told Aaron, I was like, if she fucking wins this fight, I'm going to be pissed. Because
no, you said
if he dies, I'm going to be pissed.
He doesn't.
Because this guy should be the next big thing.
He should be.
Not even the main bad guy, because Namor, historically, comic book wise, he's always an asshole.
Yeah.
And I've gotten into a couple. I've took a page out of Aaron's book, and I've been fighting people online about this fucking movie. People are saying, "Well, like, did they have to make Namor such an asshole?" It's like, yes, he's an asshole. Like, fuck you. You don't know the character. They changed some stuff, but he still has to be an asshole.
Right.
He still has to hate the surface
That's
world.
what
Like, you can
makes
relate
him-
to him, but you could also know he's a complete dick. People were saying, well, you're white. You shouldn't have an opinion about this movie. Fuck you.
Someone told you that?
Yes.
Oh, my
And I said,
God.
I can have an opinion when they write a better movie. Or when they write a movie that doesn't immediately insult the patriarchy, white people, basic storytelling, dialogue, grief. Why does Angela Bassett look like the blind lady from Deadpool?
But she looked cool, though.
She's great. Put glasses on her. She's informing Deadpool how to fucking do shit. Yeah. She looks exactly the same. None of this movie, the plot threads that they start and don't do anything with is stupid. At the end of the movie, M'Baku jumps down during the... He's fantastic, by the way, too. 10 out of 10 for him.
Winston Duke.
He's great. But at the end, he jumps out of the little thing. He's like, the Black Panther won't be here today. I challenge the throne. Who the fuck are you challenging?
I think he's challenging to be the, king of what... Because the Black Panther's not the king or the queen of Wakanda.
Protector. But
yeah, but I don't think he's challenging the Black Panther. I think he's
wanting to be king of Wakanda?
Yes. So
but who is he challenging?
Great question.
It has to be Shuri.
Maybe?
Because, in the line of succession, she's technically in charge.
Yeah, you're right.
But she's off fucking sitting on a beach learning about T'Challa 2, Electric Boogaloo.
There is T'Challa has a kid named
By
T'Challa.
the way, T'Challa 2.
Yeah, which I mean,
whatever.
Kind of lazy.
No, it is the laziest. It's pandering. I saw, and I love Kevin Smith, and it pains me to say this. He posted I just cried at this fucking movie picture again, and I held so back because I wanted to say, at what?
The runtime.
At what? Are you high? Yes. But like he's like that. The mid-credit scene is worth the price of admission. No, it wasn't. You fucking idiot. Make another movie.
Damn,
Shut up.
See, I thought we were totally opposite. I thought you liked it a lot more than I did.
I like parts of this movie.
I think
as a whole, this movie is
I was just gonna
way
say,
too long, really, really boring.
It's so boring.
And unfortunately, it fits in with Phase 4. Phase 4 was literally grief season.
So
like it started with WandaVision,
yeah.
and it's like, I'm sad, my boyfriend's dead. And then it keeps going on. Like, Loki's sad because his family's dead. Everyone's sad because of this. We're sad the Eternals exist. Right. And then, like, it just keeps going. And then
I think we're all sad the Eternals.
That's what I'm saying.
They end. They end Phase 4 with this 2-hour and 45-minute grief fest, where the beginning is okay, the end is okay, but the 2 hours and 30 minutes in between is the most boring.
Bro,
if Scott would have went with us, he would have been asleep.
I was trying hard to stay awake, dude.
But not even that. It was such a okay, this has to happen in order to get us to the second part of this film. Then this has to happen in order to get us to the third part of this film, with just a bunch of exposition in between that was so pointless. Like
at one point, there's 15 minutes left in the movie, and I look at Aaron and I go, there's like another hour, right? And he had to look at his phone. He's like, "Are you fucking serious?"
I was so bad.
Because it felt like it would have been.
It was already 4 o'clock, and I'm like,
we 1:30
we
movie.
went to a 1:30 movie, and it was 4 o'clock, and I was like, when
is this ending?
I was just like, end.
See, this is always fascinating.
Peter Jackson would have been upset about the fact that they didn't cut shit from this movie.
Yeah, I see I see people's reviews online, and like one of them is, and whether he listens or not, I don't know, is Amir's review.
I had a conversation.
He gave it like a 4-star review.
So I had a conversation with him about it, and I told him exactly how I felt. And I feel like I have to preface everything with, I like the first one a lot. Now, as much as
that's like saying I have a black friend.
Yeah, I know.
He does. It's Amir.
Yeah. So here's the thing. As shitty as this film is, it's still the second best film.
Still really good
in Phase 4. So it's No Way Home in this, and those are the bookends, and that's it.
Wow.
So that is what I told him. I said, even though this movie sucks, it's still better than most of the garbage they put out during Phase 4, like Shang-Chi, whatever. Like if
Shang-Chi was okay.
You can make an argument that Shang-Chi is very good, but
that was fine.
Yeah, but my thing, and he was telling me like all these other people had like a huge chance to shine, and like the chick who has the kid, I don't know her name.
Nakia.
Yeah, but
I think she was, in the very minimal scene she was in, she was good.
She was fine, but there was nothing spectacular about her.
No,
if
they relegated her to the background.
I was just gonna say, if they cut her out of the film, it wouldn't have mattered. I think, and the other thing that I had a huge problem with is Shuri. And even though I don't like Shuri, they don't. Okay, so at the end of the
wooden.
We already told you that she's Black Panther. So what she does, she makes
that from the trailer.
Yeah, she makes a synthetic heart of darkness or whatever,
heart-shaped herb,
or heart-shaped herb, and she goes to the astral plane and she sees Killmonger, which was a great scene. If you gave a fuck about this character or anything that she was going through, because she's sad about her brother throughout the whole movie, but she's so unlikable in my opinion that you just don't care, because you're like, oh cool, that's Killmonger, and she's like, I want revenge.
I didn't care for her in all the other movies she was in.
I didn't
like
mind
when
her.
she was in like
Right.
the Infinity Wars and the End Games and all that stuff. I was just kind of like, meh.
See, here's the thing. I didn't mind her in Black Panther. I didn't mind her in all the other movies because they have very minimal screen time.
Right.
This is
She couldn't
240
hold this
minutes
movie,
of
man.
her being the lead, and she is not a lead.
Yeah.
She's just not. She does not have the gravitas of Chadwick Boseman. No one's going to have that. And
He was so good.
and that's the problem, is that
And funny.
You did something to replace a man that nailed it. No one nailed a character, maybe since Downey Jr. nailing
I was just gonna say.
a Tony Stark. Did you nail this? Even when you're looking at Hemsworth playing Thor, he didn't start off nailing it. They had to mold him to a point where you believed him as Thor. Tony Stark and Black Panther, two of the most iconic castings, and you did it. You nailed it. and she just does not hold this movie.
No, not at all.
And it's like every time she's on screen, I'm annoyed that she's whining about something. And you can say, well, you're misogynistic. No, it has nothing to do with her being... Again, make Nakia the fucking Black Panther.
That's what they should have done.
You do her as Queen of Wakanda and
Yeah.
Nakia as the Protector. You separate the characters like you should.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yeah, I thought so. I know everyone was like
Because
from the
Duke
trailer.
is too big. I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think Winston Duke should have been black.
He does become Man Gorilla or something like that in the comics. I can't remember what.
Yeah.
I think a lot of this is just pandering to what they think the fans want.
So I held a sliver of hope, and I found out in the first hour I was wrong, but that it was going to be like a Nakia or somebody that was going to be
even a Koye, she got
right. I would have.
You're fired from
accepted
this,
that,
and then you become the Black Panther,
which I would have accepted as well. But yeah, so I fucking. I was holding out hope, but you could tell from the almost the first scene where she's trying to put together DNA. I was like, fuck, she's gonna be the Black Panther. So. Yeah, I completely agree with all that. I'm when I eventually rate it on Letterboxd later today, it will be a 2. Maybe if somebody else watches this can find better, have more enjoyment out of it than we did. Like I said, Amir did, and so did Crystal and Toby. Those are my friends, but and I'm glad they liked it. Like I am. I don't want anyone to go in and be like, well, you said it sucks. And it's just like, no, that's just my opinion.
I feel like it'll be very polarizing.
My boss went last night and he asked if I went and he said, did you go see this? I said, yeah. He's like, what did you think? I said, watch it and then let me know what you think and then I'll kind of tell you what I thought. And 2 hours in, he texts me and he goes, bro, when does anything happen? And I was like, okay, so this isn't just me.
Spoiler, it takes 2 hours and 15 minutes for the Black Panther to show up in this movie.
I would say, don't do yourself a disservice and say you love this because it represents you. Demand better. Demand better, because I'm almost positive Coogler was tied to the studio and Feig wanted a big, massive eulogy for fucking Chadwick Boseman, and I get it, man. I totally get it. He died suddenly and tragic, and no one saw it coming, and they wanted to honor him. But doing it, and I guarantee Feig was like, all right, man, we got to do this. We got to put all this crap in here. Let's just make this the most rudimentary fucking plot on the planet and just kind of give back to the people. And I can see the people like, yeah, but it was such a good tribute. Yeah, cool. It's a good tribute to Chadwick Boseman.
15-20 minutes should have been the first tribute, not 2 hours and 40 minutes.
And you're right. It is Age of Ultron.
It is. It's what it is they're trying to set up a bigger universe past this.
Right.
You've introduced Tekoquala. I don't know what the fucking city name is. I keep forgetting. You've set him up as the leader of a country. You've set Wakanda up as a scapegoat for a lot of bullshit that's happening. So now you're going to have Secret Wars. You're going to have all this stuff where Wakanda is going to be now back to being isolationist, but now they have an ally technically.
Right.
So Namor is going to be a little bit bigger, and you're going to have all these things, and that's great, but don't shoehorn it into this movie.
Yeah.
That just felt weird.
So what I imagine happened is Namor and all that stuff was originally set up to be in the second film,
yes.
And then they had to change everything because he died.
Yeah, from what I read, they was very Black Panther dealing with the fallout of Endgame. Being gone, being this, because and they kind of briefly touch it, and you guys disappeared for 6 years. You were gone. We had to move on. We had to live, and then you came back, and then we lost him again, and so they're dealing with that, and they're dealing with the grief. But he dies, and they're like, we got to rewrite this in fucking entire it has got to change almost completely. So Namor stays the same. Everything else has to change.
Right. We'll never know what we could have gotten. And I bet it would have been a good movie. I bet it would have been a good movie without all the contrived.
Could you imagine him and Namor just fucking chewing up scenery?
That would have been cool. Oh, well.
Because Namor's so good. He really is.
Yeah.
Even how cheesy with the winged feet flying around doing the shit.
That looked terrible.
I didn't hate it.
Oh, okay.
And, they still have CGI
really
problems.
Bad, yeah.
They really do. There was a scene where he's wearing the big headdress and he's kind of floating down into the mouth of the Megalodon, and he's trying to say, we're going to go fuck up Wakanda.
That reminded me of a fucking Aquaman.
Yeah, but see, that looked very CG.
It's a Megalodon.
It's a Megalodon. Jason Statham's over there. Megalodon! For me, if we're going to do out of 5 like we always do, I think it's around a 2.5. Cool. It's kind of just middle ground. It's still better than anything DC has done. I liked Namor more than Aquaman. I really do.
Yeah. Well,
just,
yeah.
Momoa's fine, but that's not Aquaman.
Man, that's a shitty movie. This is
fucking Namor. And the way they made his name Namor, like the way they explained it, is great.
Yes.
The problem is this movie's, all white people suck. And then now it's like everything.
We're all called colonizers.
So fucking preachy. Namor got his name because the Spanish were colonizing Mexico, and it's just like, we get it. I know, like, we don't want to forget our history, but also fucking stop beating me over the head with it. I want to enjoy it too. You can't make it just for this subset of people because you're not going to make it.
Republicans buy Reeboks too. Right,
No,
Michael Jordan.
Fuck off.
All right, guys.
Anyway.
So that was our diatribe on Black Panther. 3 white guys talking about a movie made for black people. If you disagree with us, please feel free to tell us to fuck off at watchitlaterpodcast@gmail.com. That's watchitlaterpodcast@gmail.com. All right, let's get into my movie for the week, which would be, oh man, I did not
Blue Ruin.
Yes, but I wanted to pull up the year and everything.
2013.
I find it funny how
16.
he always acts surprised that he's never prepared.
Yeah, I know. It is going to be 2013, directed by Jeremy Saulnier.
Who would know?
Blue Ruin.
I apologize for the mystery. I don't mean to scare you. You're not in any trouble. I just thought you should be somewhere safe when you found out. With somebody. He's going to be released. I don't know how much they are missed. It's an awful thing he did to them.
If it were my family, I might do the same. I know this is personal. That's how you'll fail.
I'd forgive you if you were crazy. But you're not. You're weak.
Hello. It's me. By my count, that's 2 of yours and 2 of mine. I don't know how this ends.
That's how this works, man. The one with the gun gets to tell the truth.
Yeah, so I picked this based on its humongously gigantic popularity among the people.
Sure.
Yep.
I didn't recognize one person.
I recognized one person.
Who was it?
The sniper. The dude he got the gun from, best friend from high school.
Oh, yeah,
The like chubbier dude.
What was he in?
Fuck if I know. I know the
thought
dude's
the same
face,
thing. I was
but
like,
I don't.
I was
I
like,
don't
he
know
looks
from what.
familiar, but everybody else was like,
Oh yeah, it was a movie of unknowns.
they went into Walmart and they were like, hey, you want to be in a movie?
So
All right.
This movie was a suspense thriller, revenge-matic film. It's, I mean, I get it if you guys weren't impressed as I was, but I thought it was slow.
I haven't said a thing to him about this.
Well, I mean, heaven forbid you're on a podcast, you don't talk about a movie.
Foreshadowing.
I'm just saying.
I'm saving it for the podcast. I'm just saying, like, he's just already assuming that we hated every second of this.
Because I don't think this is for regular people. When I watched it, I was like, there's not a lot of dialogue. I already know how this is going to go. But I thought the beginning of this was very, like, he has to get enough bottles in order to, get enough gas for this crappy car that he has.
Okay, so set this up. Who is this guy? What is his situation?
So his situation is his parents were killed, and now he's a homeless man living
Delaware.
Is it Delaware?
Yeah, because he kind of talks about
Like 10 years ago, his parents were killed.
his parents were killed by some guy who's been put in jail, double murder, whatever. You don't really find out why until a little bit later. So then the guy's living out of a car, in like the beaches of Delaware. Like apparently it's like an area where the family used to vacation. So he lives out there. He's homeless. He's he's breaking into people's houses to take baths. He's swimming in the ocean.
He's pulling food out of the dumpsters.
Full on bearded, fucking Unabomber homeless.
He's pretty much given up on life.
Oh yeah, he's done.
Who knows what you could have done? But whatever happened to him, his parents' killing or death was tragic, and
it fucked him up.
It literally put him down a downward spiral.
Doesn't talk to anybody. He has no social skills whatsoever.
No. So, yeah, and you pretty much learned that this guy is he's just a drifter, like in every sense of the word. Oh, and I finally understood what inept mean when we were watching this film. Okay, so I just wanted
after watching it, I wanted to bring that up.
So I was like,
the second he was trying to beat open a pistol lock with a fucking rock, I just was like, this fucking monkey. Go ahead.
So yeah, he.
Could you imagine?
He's
loaded.
They arrest him. Not arrest him, but they find him sleeping in his car, which pretty much you can decipher that he's had many run-ins with the law as a drifter. They bring him in. They explain to him that the person that killed his family is getting out of jail, and this pushes him on a mission to go back to where it all started. And it gets out of hand pretty fast because he
almost immediately.
Yeah.
Well, I say immediately. It takes 20 minutes of just silence throughout most of the movie. It's a lot of establishing shots. It's a lot of him doing his thing. There's a very brief moment where the cop is explaining, okay, he's being let out. I just wanted you to be around someone when you found out the news. So obviously there's some history, like you said. I think it's because the family vacation that maybe that cop knew him. So that's why they don't really tell him, get the fuck out of here, you almost jerk. And then it's just nothing but silence until about minute 20 something. So it's just his journey from the beaches of Delaware to, I don't even know where this was.
Delaware. It's a fictional town in Saskatchewan.
But and then they get to the part where he confronts the killer,
right?
And then
he
just fucking
he immediately fucking kills him, stabs him in the head
with a fish fillet knife,
right? And he takes off, and they're like, "Oh shit! Well, what's gonna happen? We gotta." He realizes that they don't call the cops.
Well, because this is the part where it becomes inept.
Yes.
He can't get a gun to work because he breaks the gun because he's beating it with a rock. Couldn't get the lock off.
Because he steals it out of the...
He steals it out of the car.
Yeah, but that was
the door is open.
Before he kills the guy.
No, I know. But then he kills the dude in the bathroom, gets out, leaves, stabs the tire with this fillet knife that I'm sure would have bent, which, probably did. It hurts his own hand. Goes back to his car, which is fucked up. He can't start the car. So he gets in the limo of that he stabbed the tire of, gets in, and starts driving away. So then he has to stop because there was someone in the limo, and he lets him out. And then he's like, well, Wayne didn't fucking kill your parents, and then lets the kid go.
And you're like, oh, this is going to come back in the end.
And then it turns out he left his fucking car that was registered to his sister.
Yes.
And that's why he's inept, because he didn't think, this is my car, they're going to track it. And that's why they never called, because these fucking hillbillies took it, in-house is what they were saying. And it snowballs. It's just fucking insane.
Yeah, and from there it kind of goes downhill, but to me, it is a slow, as Scott loves to call it, slow build, slow burn revenge movie where everything is not necessarily well thought out, but it's incredibly interesting. And oh my goodness, demons in the other room. It's just the
power of Christ compels you.
It just seems
hit Mountain Dew on.
Splash him with fruit quick.
It just seems to. It gets worse and worse no matter what and ultimately he doesn't care about his own life, but he wants to make sure his sister and her kids are safe. And like I said, it gets worse and worse and worse until ultimately it ends. But
it's not a fun ending.
No,
it's a very downer of a movie.
Yeah, it reminded me of old movies where
there's no happy ending.
There is no happy ending here.
Legit.
But I feel like that about 30 minutes in, this movie is not going to end.
The second he took an arrow to the knee, Yeah.
Is that the meme from?
Yes, that's the other meme.
Well,
I'm doing
you just
memes
know
all
this
day.
guy is like they're building him up as just like this. I mean,
Charles Bronson, fucking.
Not even
but he's
that.
not.
No, it's not even that. Like it's like you see, you're like, how is this guy going to get through all this? And that was like, I guess my one big problem with the movie. It was like believing that he was actually accomplishing all these feats by just stumbling through them.
It's very, like, unfortunately, it's exactly like the description. It's very inept in how he even accomplishes half the things that he accomplishes.
Yeah, so everything kind of seems to be luck. He gets the one guy in the trunk. He even fucks that up and almost
He goes to
dies.
shoot him from a foot and a half away, and he misses him.
By the way, for a movie that nobody's ever heard of, that fucking sniper shot that
was a
took that
great
dude's
scene.
jaw
so
off, I had to rewind. I was like, what the fuck just happened? And I was like, holy shit, what was the budget on this? It was amazing because like the stabbing
better graphics
scene,
than most big budget movies.
yes, the stabbing scene was insane because he I think he stabbed him like in the neck first, and then he pulls it out and then stabs a dude in the temple, and it was like the guy's laying on the ground bleeding out, and you can see his eye twitching, and he's going, wow. I'm like, wow, that's fucking crazy looking.
I think the most
And
interesting.
then the sniper shot happened, and the dude's jaw's flying off his face. I'm like, fuck.
I think the most interesting thing about that movie is the relationship between the two characters, the main character and that guy, the friend, is because
We all have that friend.
I don't know if I have that friend.
We all have a weird somebody we
I had to
know.
wait till he pointed at you so I could make it legal.
Yeah, I think
I'm
we
like,
have-
I like that.
I think
dude.
we have somebody that we know that you would say like, okay, if shit went down, this is who I would probably seek out.
Right,
and
but
that's
he
this
doesn't
guy.
even know where he's at. He hasn't seen him in forever. He runs into him and he's like, I need a gun. I need this. And he's like, all right, let's go.
It reminded me of like
Rolling
Rolling Thunder.
Yeah,
Right.
That's why.
Well, and that's that's kind of how I felt too. Like right when he took the shot and he's there and he was like on his land, and he's like, okay, you put him in the trunk. We got to get rid of this. Oh, the coyotes eat the rest of the brains all over the ground.
Yeah.
Wipe that off. Let's do this. Like it did feel very like this was his Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah,
like
right.
he got
It's
his
time
buddy
to shine.
yeah.
and it was just like, okay, all right. And then he's like, here, you'll need this. He's like, I watched you take that shot, you fucking idiot. I'm not going to give you this. I'm going to give you buckshot. I'm going to give you this.
We're gonna change out your gun. Now,
This-
this one's only got 5 shots, but you're gonna be able to hit something.
Yeah, you might actually be able to actually use it. Like, I liked that guy. Like, I was kind of hoping he would go, okay, let's go do this, and he's going to be your ride or die.
Right.
He was like, if you haven't
something.
seen the movie, he's the ultimate prepper guy.
Which you probably have seen the movie because it's wildly popular.
Yeah, in 2013 with everybody.
Oh, it's got that one guy in it.
He's like the ultimate prepper guy. I mean, he's got all the firearms. You know, he lives.
Oh, he's living on the
he
land.
lives on his acreage of land. You know, where he doesn't want the government to come in and do his shit. You know, I mean, he's that typical.
Go ahead,
conspiracy
Scott,
theorist.
say it. He's a Democrat.
Damn
it.
Democrats.
I promise he's a Republican. No, but yes, this movie reminded me very much of like a Rolling Thunder or a what is it, Death Wish or whatever.
It's a very straightforward revenge flick.
Yeah.
There's nothing exceptional about the revenge plot. There is no real prep in the revenge. There's no elaborate, I'm going to put you in some saw contraption. Like, it's straightforward. It's like the Hatfields and McCoys. This family caught your husband fucking my mom, and then the dad killed you, but he died. Yeah, I know.
Just let it go.
Say onion.
But you know what I mean? It's like so by the book, but it was interesting. Now, I have problems with some of the reviewers calling it Quentin Tarantino-esque.
Yeah, that
because
didn't-
this has none of the dialogue, none of the gravitas, none of that, that Tarantino flavor that I would say this would be compared to anything Quentin Tarantino did.
So I never.
And it's annoying that was even a comparison.
I was just going to say, I didn't even, when I started it, I was like, I'm not even going to go into it looking like that. And the more it got into it, the more I felt like it was like a Death Wish or a Rolling Thunder or a revenge film from the 70s. And that's all it felt like to me the whole time I was watching it. Like, I was like, okay, this guy is clear. Like, I know this dude's going to die at the end.
Oh, for sure.
And I was like, I know this is like, he has like no give a fuck except for his sister, and he's just trying to protect him. He even says that in the message he leaves at the end. He's like, look,
we can end this.
We can end this. You can kill me. Just leave them alone. And the guy's like, oh, well, that's why we're going to Pittsburgh.
Well, he's like, look, they're, by my count, 2 years are down, 2 of mine are down. We should be done with this.
Yeah.
Let's not do it. And then, you're right. Dude starts, well, that's why we're going to Pittsburgh. He's like, well, then fuck, I'm going to shoot you in the neck.
I got to kill
and
you.
then, shot him. I think what they did was they tried to interject a lot of plot, like, really quickly toward the end of it, where it's like, oh, the reason why the family hates you is that your mom was, my dad was, fucking your mom. And then all of a sudden, the kid that was in the limo that ends up shooting him with the buckshot turns out to be his half-brother because, like, the dad, got the mom pregnant, so that was his, like, half-brother, and that's why he lets him live.
But wait,
but it's like, plot twist, and then that was it.
I didn't really care about that. I thought that was fine. Like, that was a fine.
It's pretty anticlimactic plot twist because I think you kind of saw it coming. You saw something coming that was, you're like, okay, this kid's going to turn out to either, it was, when it happened, you were just kind of like, oh, okay.
And by the way, how fucked up is that family that every person in that family knew the truth of that awful secret?
Right.
The dad ends up killing the parents, but he has cancer, and they like, well, he can't die in prison, so I'll take the rap for you. How did the kid know that he wasn't the one that killed the parents? Why does everyone in that family know all that plot? Like, that would be a secret maybe like 2 people fucking take to their graves.
Because it seems like they were like an organized crime plot syndicate thing where they kind of all kept it all in family.
It just felt like too many people had that knowledge for no one to ever find out the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was a little weird.
They didn't seem like the smartest people.
They were idiots. Although she had like a fucking like gat underneath the recliner, which was funny.
I liked stuff that was like him, taking all the guns out of the house and like pissing on the grave and throwing them in the ocean river,
right?
The pond, and then there was just that one submachine gun that was
which is funny because it doesn't even hurt him. Like the other chick runs at him like and then she's firing and shoots her in the back of the head, and then he kills her.
She's spraying bullets and can't hit a single thing.
Yeah, well, and he gets in trouble for shooting to the right of the dude in the trunk. But okay, whatever.
Right. I just there's not a ton to talk about with this movie because it's an hour and 30 minutes.
It exists,
yes,
but it's not egregious. Like, watch it. It's good. It's fun.
I think you should watch it. And we spent
enough
time talking about it.
I think it falls into, and this is kind of where I sit with it. It falls into a category of it's not terrible.
No,
it's not fantastic, but it's good. Like it's a good movie. Like it like
I'm gonna give it Jordan's favorite score.
I get what they're trying to do, and I applaud them for doing it on probably such a low budget because I'm sure the budget's probably pretty low on it.
Maybe.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, it's not terrible. Watch it. Yeah. I mean, it's not. I'm not going to go out there and somebody's going to be like, "Hey, give me a movie to watch that is super fantastic." And my first
Blue Ruin.
Yeah, Blue
Ruin. I would suggest this to people.
I would recommend this, but the thing is that this is so basic and doesn't have enough layers to ever make me rewatch it. Like if it's on TV, I'm not going to watch it again. There's just nothing there for me. I know everything. There's no underlying thing that it's going to change because now that I know the end, that when I rewatch it, I'm going to notice something different. I'm not. Right. What I'm going to notice is that he should have never shaved that fucking beard off because he looked like a fucking weirdo.
He did.
Right after he shaved. I'm like,
I thought the beard stuff was cool. Like,
I thought he looked great.
That scene where he's all blooded up.
Yeah.
He's like, I got to exact some revenge because I have a 6 o'clock shift at Barnes & Noble.
Right. He's got to go file someone's taxes. I mean, it was weird. I'm around a 3. Like it's a surprisingly enjoyable movie for the one time you'll watch it.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm probably about the same. Maybe 3. It's not terrible. It's not super fantastic. I mean, the story is interesting enough to keep you engaged.
Definitely better than most.
Yeah, it's just like you said. It's just one of those films where I've seen it. I don't know if I would ever just put it on again to watch it. But I mean, hey, it was good enough.
Would you put anything on again just to watch it?
There's repeatable movies. I mean,
there's lots of movies. They're not great movies, but those movies are always.
He watches Hot Rod at least every Thursday.
Yeah, I love Hot Rod.
I know.
I mean, I again, the only movie that first thing that popped into my head only because we're in the season is like a movie like A Christmas Story. That is a movie that you could just consistently put on.
That doesn't count.
But it's one of those
But
movies.
it should count because if you can rewatch it,
Yeah.
and it's enjoyable even when you watch it the 35th time, then that's fine. This, I don't think I'm going to get any more out of this movie on a second or third or fourth viewing.
Maybe you do.
I won't.
Maybe you're like, oh, that's how you dispose of guns.
I did like the I never even would have thought of doing this. Like when he was, he had the guy in the trunk. He was trying to fix his leg, all this stuff. And he got out of the hospital, went back to the trunk. He went to one of those drop off your clothing, like donation boxes. You see it like the Walmart parking lot to get like clothes. I'm like, oh, that's a pretty smart move. I don't think I've ever thought of using that as like I gotta fucking get clothes kind of situation.
You've never been poor.
I have.
When you've been
Trust me.
When you've been shot in the leg, you become very resourceful.
That's true.
I did like the fact that they didn't make this guy a superhuman fucking crazy person. Like, the dude tried to pull an arrow out of his leg and realized, this ain't happening. I gotta go to a hospital. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it's the first thing I thought
it
of.
made
I'm like,
sense.
okay, so he puts it in the car door and he tries to saw it off, so it's not now. Which I said, I'm like, you got to get that extra length off there.
You do.
I'm like, because it's going to get in the way. And when he takes the hacksaw to it, I'm like, ooh, that's
gonna
gonna
hurt.
fucking hurt, man. Jesus.
I did. There was one scene, despite the very rough nature of this movie, I did like one scene where he got shot. He tried to do everything. He goes in to a CVS or some like little thing, and he's paying for the rubbing alcohol, all the things to help try to remove this arrow from his leg.
Yes.
And one of the bills is bloody, and he's looking at the guy, and the guy's looking at him. He goes, and then he's just like, you know what? It's not even worth trying to give an excuse. And then he just walks away. And I'm like, that's funny. Because it's like, he didn't even try to make an excuse. He didn't try to like do something quippy. He didn't try to lie to the guy. He just like realized halfway through his sentence, it's not worth it. I'm kind of fucking
there's
bounced.
blood on the
Like
dollar, dude.
I genuinely chuckled at that because it's like,
take the dollar.
yeah, I could see that happening. Just like, fuck it, it's money. I'm out of here. I didn't need to explain why it's there. I'm out.
Right.
I gotta go do surgery.
Call the
on my
cops if you
vehicle.
want.
Fuck
It
you.
doesn't matter to me.
Right.
No, I 100% agree. So, 3.5. You gave it a 3.
So you hated
Three,
it?
yeah.
All right, cool.
It's not terrible.
So I appreciate you guys watching that. What is your next movie? And you haven't even said anything, so I don't know what it is. Maybe
I
I've
know
seen
what
it.
it is.
He knows what it is.
What? You guys talked about it?
Yeah,
Well,
we talk
because
all
we
the
got
time.
here on time.
Yeah, we were here on time.
I told Scott I was going to get coffee.
We know.
Which is actually one of the movies that was on my list, too.
I don't care, man. I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning last night. I don't give a fuck.
That's when I finished watching this movie.
Yep.
All right, so I know Scott had this on his list. I had never seen it. You and I kind of briefly talked about it the other day when we went and saw the movie. So it got me thinking about it. I watched the trailer last night after I watched this movie, and it had me laughing just through the trailer.
Uh-oh.
So I am picking 1980s used cars.
At last, a controversial new motion picture that dares to deal with a serious contemporary problem which every man, woman, and child must come to grips with at least once in their lifetime.
Make them like this anymore. Why don't you go ahead and sit inside? Go ahead. This new upholstery, only 27,000 miles, and we just gave the engine a complete overhaul yesterday. Go ahead, kick her over. Isn't that the quietest engine you've ever heard in your life?
Used cars, rolling off the blocks this summer into a theater near you.
Hey, Stan, trust me, huh? Happy motoring, Stan.
Trust me.
Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Hey. Trust me. Hey, come on. Trust me.
It fucking looks hilarious.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm
it was
down for
filmed partly locally here, I think in downtown Phoenix.
Yeah,
Stars Kurt Russell. It's got a pretty good cast. Like, I've been watching the trailer, and I recognize a lot of faces, so I think it's going to be a fun, uplifting, light, kind of like a Raising Arizona type situation for us. Where
That's what I hear it compared to.
Yeah,
Kind
so
of Raising Arizona.
I think it's going to be something that's going to lighten the mood a little bit before we go into the grim, dour Christmas season and then the 1970s.
Oh, I'm looking for some fucked up Christmas movies.
Well, it's good because the package that contains used cars is in Denver, Colorado.
I told you. I told you he had it on the way.
Well, it's Shout, so yeah,
I know.
Of course I do.
So, yeah, we're gonna watch used cars, and I love Kurt Russell. I love early Kurt Russell. I think this looks funny. It looks like a typical 80s comedy. Even the trailer that I found that's on IMDb shows like topless women. Yeah. Like there's one point where like she takes off her top and it's on TV and the kid's looking at it. Look, Mom, titties. I'm just like, all right, this is it.
Does it
5 out of 5?
Does it look like?
It looks silly, man.
What's that one movie? Jeremy Piven.
Oh, I know
Goods?
what you're talking about. The Goods.
Does it look like The Goods? We have 24 hours to sell us a tire.
I mean, it's kind of that same premise where it's like the competing used car dealerships across the street from each other. One's trying to stay in business, so they got to do everything they can to sell as many cars as possible. So that's why they're doing all these weird gimmicks and
hilarity
advertising and just comedy ensues.
What was your pick before that? Because that seems to be
I didn't
off
have
the
one.
cuff.
I really didn't have one, and I was
Are
thinking.
You done picking movies?
No. What do you mean I'm done picking?
No,
movies?
done. Show's over after this week.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I ran out.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
No, I have a list, but a lot of my other movies were a little bit more heavy as far as content. I wanted to lighten up, so I started looking through comedies, and I kind of wanted to do something that I haven't seen. And you, like I said, you and I kind of briefly talked about this the other day when we were at the movie, and I'm like, you know what? I haven't seen that. I know you haven't seen it. I looked it up, and it just looked fun.
Well, I do the same thing. I have a big list of things, and I always say, like, "Ooh, this is going to be my next pick," and then something else will just kind of slide in, and I'm like, "Ooh, that's the one I'm going to go with." And then all these movies that I've had listed.
Dude, look at my this is my watch list.
Yeah,
I just go down this and I pick one.
I have a couple other movies, but like I said, most of. Is Armageddon on that list?
No.
Oh my God, I was going to be so mad at you.
I have seen Armageddon a million times.
We're going to watch Deep Impact.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
We were talking about that because I was telling him, I was like, yeah, I'm going to pick an Amy Schumer movie. Tell Jordan I'm picking Snatch.
I did.
I was so mad.
And I was like, yeah, we had to pick like good movies. Like I go, like that one was Zac Efron and Matthew Perry. 13 going on 30. I'm like,
I've seen it. We can't pick it.
I'm like, I've seen it, and I fucking love that movie.
Honestly, I do too.
It's a better Big than Big.
Yes,
it really is.
Or I guess it would be small,
or 13
right?
going on 30.
13 going on 30 or whatever. I didn't like that movie, but whatever. Right. She's just annoying in it. Jennifer Gardner or whatever. She's just super annoying in it.
You just hate women.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yes, we'll watch used cars,
much.
and we're gonna have some 1980s fun shenanigans.
So.
Before Christmas.
Last but not least, I guess we got to give this Halloween set away.
Yep.
Since we promised.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't actually know this guy's name because he is. I only know him on the TikToks and the Instagram.
So we actually, we randomized this, so don't think that we're just like giving it out to
but
like whoever we picked.
When you randomize it,
yeah,
and there's only like 3, so there's 75%
chance. There was more than that.
We're gonna go with Jordan.
Let me bring him up.
Yeah,
Steelbook Obsessed on Instagram. We will be contacting you. You won the box.
What
set.
was the movie he posted?
The Thing. So obviously, I cheated
biased,
and picked it.
Same.
No, I'm just kidding. No, there was a few good choices on there. Like you said, I did randomize it. Steelbook Obsessed. So congratulations.
Sounds
Aaron
legit.
spent a lot of money on you. You're welcome.
Just like I do all my boyfriends.
Yeah, now you're on scholarship, you asshole. Congratulations.
You've always been on scholarship.
Fuck off.
Now that Aaron has the blue check mark, he's just going to contact
That's right.
And now no one can get it anymore, so...
Follow me on Twitter.
Give out your name, because that's the most on-brand name ever.
Quentin Tarantino is my spirit animal on Twitter. I am verified. Currently, I am...
he paid the $8.
7 days banned, but I'll be back. I'll be back to talk a bunch of crap. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. Next week, our phone.
Next week, we're going to be on our phones. We're not going to come in.
Our movie is Used Cars. But Reservoir Dogs will be on 4K by then. I'm going to check that out.
Have you ever seen? You've seen it, right?
I've seen Reservoir Dogs.
Thank God.
500
When you say check it out, it always freaks me out.
Up until recently, because didn't you say you had never seen it and you watched it like a couple months ago?
No, it's been like 2 or 3 years since I've seen it.
Okay,
but it took forever to see.
The way you said it, it was like.
Well, just the way you say things like "I'll check it out," it always makes me think. have you seen it, or are you just saying I want to see the quality?
I want to see the quality of the 4K.
I'm the same way.
Watch
I'm
special
just,
features, blah blah blah. Plus, Reservoir Dogs is so fucking good.
It's
That,
really good.
I can't not watch it.
Yeah, I think mine's shipping or shipped already.
I
I
just got
from
the
Best Buy.
text that says it's shipped. What was it? So, cinema speculation. He's talking about a movie that he's writing or that he wrote as a kid, and he goes, "It's kind of like Reservoir Dogs. It just sounded cool. It doesn't mean anything." And that kind of broke my heart because I love Reservoir Dogs. So I always think of the people in the movie as Reservoir Dogs, but I guess I don't mean anything. So, anyways, all right.
It was just the title, whatever.
I'm
Jackie
Aaron.
Brown. She's not even in the movie.
I'm Aaron.
I'm Jordan.
And Scott.
And we'll see you next week. This is I'll Watch It Later podcast. Big gulps, huh? Well, see you later.